The Halloween horror continues here on Weekend Wankshop. This week, let's learn the super spooky theme to Saw. Hey kids, and welcome to another spooktacular installment of Weekend Wankshop. Here's your good buddy, Uncle Ben. Last week we learned how to play the theme from one of my favorite flicks, Clive Barker's Hellraiser. And this week I thought I'd respond to that and give you guys one that you guys have been requesting a ton, which is that main theme from Saw. The original theme features a whole bunch of different electronic and orchestral elements, so I tried to distill all the most important features of that down to where you can play it really easily on a 6-string guitar in good old drop D tuning. Snag that low E string and tune that guy down a step. And as always, you can find a full tab for this week's lesson over on my Instagram page. So be sure to go over to Instagram, look up BenEllerGuitars, find the tab for this week's lick, learn how to play it, and then upload a video of yourself ripping through it, along with the hashtag Weekend Wankshop. Let's jump right in and start learning how to play these parts. So what you're going to do to begin with is to hit the open D string with that 7th fret G at the same time, kind of palm muted back here at the bridge. Then move the G string up to fret 9 and hit that also with the open D. Then move the G string up to fret number 10 here and hit that with your open D. So now you've got this phrase. After this, play that open D string 3 times. So now you got this. Your next phrase starts off really similar. You're going to play the open in 7, open in 9, open in 10. Then you're just going to play one open D string. Then you're going to play the open in 9 again, then the open in 7. So far we have. Then what you're going to do after that is hit the open in 7 again, open in 9, open in 10, and then one more open D. So that phrase is. It's tricky to remember that you got that double 7 right there. You put that together with the other phrase and we should have this. And then there's sort of an alternate version of that phrase that makes up the second half of this riff. It goes like this. A lot of the same stuff, open D and fretted notes on the G string here. 7, 9, 10, open, open, open. 7, 9, 10, open, open, open. 9, 10, 12, open. So once again that was. So those two complete phrases together give you this. And there at the intro, you're going to play that 2 times all the way through in a row. Here's our second time. third time, you're just going to play about half of it. Okay, the next part is going to get into the more chordy stuff. This is where it starts getting a little bit cooler to play. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be starting off with the 7th fret D, the 7th fret G, and the 6th fret on the B string. You can kind of relate this to sort of a D minor sort of chord shape if that's how you want to visualize it. But what I'm doing is I'm going to strum the E string all the way through the B string. Sounds like a D minor chord. Now what you're going to do is you're going to strum the chord 2 and 3 and 4 and then just kill time by sort of chugging the E and A strings that you're going to have kind of palm muted back here as this chord is still sustaining. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Next what you're going to do is to take the B string that you have in the chord and just move it down a fret. So now I'm holding down 7th D, 7th G, 5th B. Sounds like a D sus2. Give it the same treatment. Strum the chord and then chug away on those low strings. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. And then after this what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the 2nd fret G and 3rd fret B. And I'm going to strum those bottom 5 strings again. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. Now you should have this. And then what I like to do is to hit those open low strings unpalm muted to kind of make up for that big low octave brass sound that you hear on the original recording. So that was just 2 and 3 and 4 and. The next section is only very slightly different. You're going to start off with that same D minor sort of shape, 7D, 7G, 6B, 2 and 3 and 4 and. And this time, instead of moving the B string down a fret to 5 like you did before, you're going to move it up here to fret number 8. So in other words, now we've got 7, 7, 8, like that. Sounds like D sus4. Now, whenever you strum this one, you're going to strum the chord 1, 2, and 3, and. Then you're going to interrupt to go back to that D sus2, the one that was like 7, 7, 5. Because you hear this E in the melody one more time. So it should sound like 1, 2, and 3, and 4. After this, go back down here to your D5 position like you were in earlier, 2nd fret G, 3rd fret B. Strum 2 and 3 and 4 and open 2 and 3 and 4 and. So altogether the low chord section, the second section here, should sound like this. 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Goes through a second time. 2, 3, 4. Now the next section here is where those strings really start ringing out high, so I decided to take this up an octave. It's basically the same chords you're doing down here, it's just an octave higher. Now this is definitely a bit of a reach when you have an acoustic that doesn't have a cutaway on it, but it's okay, it builds character. This is a high position D minor. Some of you guys might recognize it as the same first position D minor chord used down here. I'm just moving it up an octave. So here's what I got. I got the 14th G, the 15th B, and the 13th fret on the high E string. Now in order to keep it sounding kind of thin and high here, I'm not going to be using those low strings all the time like I did on the last part. I'm going to play the top 4 strings of the guitar, so the D string and below. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm just chugging on that D string, again, just to keep it sounding thin. And then just like before, you're going to move your melody note, your highest note, down a fret. So instead of being on 13 with a high E, move it down to 12. These two guys stayed in the same spots on 14 and 15. 2, 3, 4. Next, what we're going to do is to leave the high E string out of it. I'm just going to play the D string open, 14th fret G, 15th fret B. 2, 3, 4. Grab those low strings. 2, 3, 4. So notice there I hit the low strings, then continued just kind of plucking on that D string like that. So that section should sound like 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and then your low ones. 2, 3, 4. After this, we're going to go back to that regular high position D minor that we started with there. And then your melody note's going to move up here to fret 15. So you got 14, 15, 15. Now that move was just like the one before, where we started off here on 12, 15, 15, sorry, 14, 15, 15. You're gonna play 1, 2, and 3, and then see, this is back in that D sus kind of position here. 14, 15, 12, 2, 3, 4. And then what I'm doing is I'm moving that first finger back up a fret, so it's back in the regular D minor position. 2, 3, 4, low strings, 2, 3, 4. So you put that stuff together and you should have this. Really just pay attention to the high E string and how it moves around here. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, low, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 15, 12, 13, low. Next what we're going to do is we're going to move down to this low section here, which is sort of a variation on the first riff that we learned. This is going to take place on the E, A, and D strings, just on the bottom 3 strings of the guitar here. Now what I'm doing here is I'm starting off by hitting all 3 of those open, and then I'm going to move up to the 2nd fret D, then the 3rd fret D. Again, same move as this. And then fill in the rest of the time with some open chugging on that low E and A strings. Very metal. 2, 3, and 4, and. So then you're going to do the same walk up on the D string with those open 2 low strings ringing out below it here. We're going to go open, 2, 3, a single chug, 2, open, 2, 3, 5, chug. So that phrase again was open, 2, 3, chug, 2, open, 2, 3, 5, chug. Put that together with the first walk up and we should have this. That gets repeated 4 times in a row. Now just to add some cool contrast into this riff, I decided to not palm mute anytime I'm playing the melody and palm mute back here anytime I'm doing just the open string chugging. That's what makes it sound like it's really kind of jumping out at you with that melody. Dynamics are important, kids. Play that riff 4 times in a row. And the next riff you can think of as being kind of a more evolved version of that intro riff that we played here. It's got the open E, A, and D and fretted notes on the G string here. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 7, 9, 10, then just 3 opens. 10, 12, 14, open, open, open. And then what you're going to do is scooch up here to 14, 16, 17, and a single chug after that. Do that 2 times in a row. And then the riff changes very slightly here. We're going to have the same 7, 9, 10, 10, 12, 14, 14, 12. So this is just basically 2 extra notes we add into the second lick. So instead of just going 10, 12, 14, open, 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 like before, you're going to go 10, 12, 14, 14, 12. And then move up to the 14, 16, 17, open, just like we did before. So again, we only added 2 notes into there. That gets played 3 times in a row like that. And then the very last thing in the riff that I did there is to hit the open bottom 3 strings, 10th fret G, open 3 with the 9th fret G, open bottom 3 with the 7th fret G. And now for a big ass recap. We started off with our middle 2 string riff 2.5 times in a row. Second time. And just a half time. After this we moved into the low chords. Second time through all that. into the high chords. Just one time through this. Then the low riff. Second time. Third time. And fourth time. High riff. Then we add in the extra notes. Second time, and third time. Then you're in 10, 9, 7. So there you go, guys. Another spooktacular horror movie theme song to get you guys in that Halloween spirit. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Also be sure to go over to facebook.com/UncleBenEller and like my new Facebook fan page. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter @BenEllerGuitars. And if you're interested in booking some one-on-one Skype lessons with me, be sure to drop me an email, BenEllerGuitars@gmail.com. Please drop me a comment and let me know what spectacular Halloween horror theme song you'd like to see covered on the next Weekend Wankshop. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next week.